Our modern world is a world of change, and ever since the Industrial Revolution, humanity has experienced a myriad of growth in all aspects affecting life. And with the invention of film, automobiles, space exploration, and internet access, the world doesn't seem to be slowing down one bit. In fact, it's been speeding up since the start of the Industrial Revolution. Now we have to ask ourselves one simple question: can this amount of change possibly come without any negative consequences? A while back, National Geographic allowed everyone to have free access to Before the Flood, a film examining many aspects of what human behavior has done to affect the natural balance of the planet. And the scientific consensus wasn't pretty. 97% of climate scientists believe that human activity causes global warming. And what's worse is that about a third of Congress doesn't accept the scientific consensus. Now, many either think climate change is a hoax or that it's being caused by other events unrelated to humans. And this is important to note because we now have to accept the fact that we have a third of Congress that is either scientifically illiterate or is simply pretending to be in order to get votes or submit to some other special interest. And the film even goes on to show many of these global warming denying politicians. Politicians like Marco Rubio, whose state of Florida is already being affected by climate change, specifically the city of Miami Beach, where even the mayor was describing the difficulties the city has with flooding, especially after storms or hurricanes. And entire countries are relocating their population deeper and deeper inland as a result of the sinking of their country. And as a result of carbon and methane emissions, the poles of the planet are melting along with Greenland. And this is happening at a pace that scares scientists. Now, the melting of ice caps is not occurring at the pace scientists predicted. It's happening faster. And scientists know we cause this as a result of our carbon and methane footprints. Now, Before the Flood makes the very important point that we need to elect leaders who will take action and propose legislation that will put a tax on carbon. This would lower its use as a result of inflating the price of emitting carbon into the atmosphere. However, that's not enough. We should also have a tax on methane, which is released by the gases of cows, and it's also responsible for the current state of our planet. Methane emissions are also much more harmful than carbon emissions, but are often ignored. The root of this problem is psychological in nature. The problem here in the United States is motivation. If more people understood the situation our planet is undergoing and the need for new legislation, then we would be much more likely to pass legislation. Politicians want your vote. So let them know that your vote goes to the politician that plans on noticing the problem of climate change and deciding to do something valuable about it. And you must be motivated to act. Our politicians must be ready to act, and the world as a whole must act if we are to have even the slightest chance of doing what the late scientist and popularizer of science once said. In the words of Carl Sagan, we must preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.